So now at the end we are left with story. So story is, as I said in the starting, it is not very frequently used, but it's the simplest one. We don't do much in story. What we need to do is simply we drag and drop. So what has happened over here in dashboard, we drag the sheets, right? We only
Yes.
added sheets, correct? But in story, you can add your sheet and your dashboard both. Can you see sheets also and dashboards also? So let's say I'll type over here, sales dashboard. This is just an example. One is, let's say this my dashboard is sales dashboard. I can use the entire dashboard in one view. Now I'll add one more tab over here. This will be, let's say, profit dashboard. Okay, I can use this one over here. You remember a navigation button? It will act just like a navigation. Only
Yes, sir.
difference over here is you can give an overview on this topic. You can write something about this dashboard, some overview, high level information, and you can show it. You can create a story. So this is how we can create a story. Very simple. There is nothing much to do. Even if you want, you can add a sheet over here. This is your sheet, right? Now let's say, what is this sheet? Have we created anything? Let me create something over here. I'll add one blank sheet over here. Now let's say I'll use this also over here. This is, let's say, subcategory, right? Sorry, spelling is not good. Okay. Now let's say I want to add one more. So what I'll do is I'll create one sheet. Say customer name, or it will be too much. I'll say subcategory, and then I'll select profit, quantity, and I'll create a this thing. Instead of this, I'll create a customer name like this. Okay. And I'll put the sales into the size. Okay. So this is my scatter plot. So now what I'll do is I'll add that in my story. So this is the scatter plot. I'll add it over here and I'll name it as scatter like this. Understood? Now I can simply click switch on this and I can see a entire view over here. So this is about the story. You can give a title to your story, any name, okay? Sales dashboard, or let's say governance deck, and you can mention it over here. Any doubt, anyone? So story is, if you want to understand, let's say story is basically like a book. So
Mm-hmm.
you will, it's an overview. So you
Mm-hmm.
have multiple dashboards, right? Like this dashboard, and I have multiple dashboard. So what if you have certain small information? Let's say for this dashboard, I can say just example that this is a assume that this is a sales dashboard. So I can write some small information about this story. That category is making the high this or furniture is making the highest sale, contributing in the sales of in the market with the whatever you have. Let's say you might have some analysis done, so you can write all those analysis over here. Okay, sales board, and I can type making good profit, making good profit with highest sale, right? So like this, I can write small story so that user, when he will come to this, he can see the story, and after that he can do the analysis, can read this. He will get an overview about your dashboard. By looking at this title, he'll get a gist, right? So
Yes,
that's why we use the story. So if you see this scatter plot, now what has happened over here in this sheet, let's say if I use a sheet in this, can see I can use a sheet in this also. direct sheet over here. And if for example, if I want to show a sheet in like in other dashboards, so I have to drag it in the dashboard. But if I want to show one sheet, then what I need to do is, what I can do is I can use that sheet along with my dashboard. If I want to combine these things, then I can use a story. Let me see if, yeah, okay, see, I'll show you one best example for story. So now in this dashboard over here, what is it saying? So this is the presentation mode. Now what it says is global population and birth rate are imbalanced. This is the view about global birth rate. So red is above 3%, birth rate 1.5 to 3% is this, and this is below 1.5%. So I can see the information, okay, this is about the global birth rate, because it says that it is imbalanced, it's not balanced, right? Now I'll see the second story. A few countries spends more than 14% GDP on healthcare. I got an information about an overview about this. Now I can do a further analysis. Okay, it says 40% GDP. Let's check what is the threshold. Let's say if I change it to 13%, how it is performing, right? Okay, it's 9% is like this. What are the countries which are within 11%? Now let's go to the next one. Mobile phone usage grows much faster than internet usage. So if you see, this is your yellow one is internet usage, and this is, so I can, this has just given me an overview, right? This title, but further deep dive analysis, I have to see, I'll see the view, and I can do an analysis. What is the next story? She says that following negative, so it's kind of chapter, in a story you have a chapter name, right? It's a chapter name. Chapter name should, how the chapter name should be, by reading the chapter name we get to know about a gist of the story, right? What is the story all about? Then we read the story, correct? Same thing, we, by looking at this story title, we get a overview information. Then to deep dive analysis, we see that view. So it says following negative economic growth, we see interest rate decline. So as the growth is increasing, the interest rate is declining. The second one, the next one is Europe continues to be the most popular tourist destination. So it has created an indicator of global growth and development. So you can, by reading this, I can understand that this information is something about Europe. How it is contributing? It is saying that Europe is contributing, continues to be the most popular tourist. Let's see how it is. So I can see that, okay, Europe is 265 everywhere, Europe. So this color, this is Europe. This legend is for Europe. So you can see this is the bigger in size, right? In all of the bars. So I can understand, okay, yes, he's correct. He says the correct thing. Am I clear, guys? So in this, see, they have used multiple filters also. Date, you can change the date range like this. You can filter the data. If I want to see only Europe, I'll select Europe and I'll get the value for only Europe, how it is performing in every regions. So these are interactive one. This is how you have to create your dashboard. But for that, you need to understand your data. Let's say I want to see only Austria. You can select Austria from here. This is a wildcard match. Remember? So this is how you can create. So these are the charts that has been created, and all these charts have been used in the dashboard. If you want to see this dashboard, it's there in your Tableau dashboard. If you go to this, when you connect to you get all these three dashboards for your practice. And as I suggested, please go to Tableau Public, and also from there you can take a reference.